honest, guys, anime can be really, really weird. Like, it can be really off-putting, and if you don't love it, I can't really get mad at you for it, but I can say that sometimes people have a closed-minded view. They just hear it's from Japan, they just know it looks different from what they grew up with, and they just don't really give it a chance. And I think those people are the ones that I really get angry with. I'm like, I just get so mad. I'm like, okay, how do you hate this? If you like sci-fi, if you like romance, and you like action, and you like comedy, how do you hate something that has all those things? I don't understand, but I get it. You're biased. You have an opinion that you've made before you really learn the facts. You're like everyone else in the freaking United States who makes choices before they vote. If you call yourself a Democrat before you know anything, you have a problem. If you call yourself a Republican before you know anything, you have a problem. Okay? You don't know anything. Learn something and then make a choice. I don't want to get political here. I just want to say that people who don't like anime are just as bad as that. They haven't really given it a chance because they don't understand that it's not just one thing. It's not a singularity. Anime is not a cover-all for every single animated thing, period, from Japan. Anime is a simple category, and then there's subcategories beneath that. And people really need to dig into that and understand that it's so great and so vast, there's no way you can actually not like it at all. I get it. You're allowed to not like it. You're allowed to have your opinion. I understand that. It's your God-given right. But it's also pure ignorance. Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and this is Anime Debate. This week, we're not going to compare two shows because I ran out of time again, but we are going to talk about the fact that there are 5 shows on Netflix that I think are the best shows to show your friends who don't like anime. So let's just start right away with the list. Number 5 on Netflix I found is a series by the name of Silver Spoon. There are going to be people who are going to go, oh man, it's all action, all Dragon Ball Z, all fighting, all yelling, all magical pretty girls, and this is just real people doing real things. It reminds me of a reality show, but with more cows. And I'm sure there is some anime that reflect the world that we live in today, and if you live in an agricultural society, this is totally going to be your jam. Also, like the fact that the character is kind of coming into his own and learning about relationships and people, and it's something we all go through every day. If you've ever been an outcast in high school, or if you ever what's the word? If you ever hated your parents, if you can relate to this show. One of the reasons why I went to college, is because I wanted to get away from my parents. I wanted to get so far away that it didn't matter what I did. I had this big internal conflict, and this show relates to that directly, and it's going to relate to everybody, because I feel like most people go through that same situation, especially at that age. So if you want to find a good show that really connects with you to your human condition and human spirit, Silver Spoon is for you. Number 4, Sword Art Online. Now, a lot of people will go, oh, it's a video game anime, that's easy to do. I'll say it is, but the problem that the show has, and its strength, is that it also slowly turns into a love story. And it's a great love story at that. While the motivations can be questionable, I do find it to be extremely intense and engaging. And that's one thing that you need when you're bringing people new into anime, is that they need to be engaged pretty much immediately and then stick with it. And I think these characters are strong enough that they really hold your attention. And as a new viewer of anime, you are totally going to dig it. Now, the general plot is that they get sucked into a video game and they can't get out, and then you're going to deal with, just the daily life of that and the heroism that comes along with it, and then also what happens when they get out of the game. Now, I'm not going to tell you anything else that happens after that, but I'm telling you, it's a great show that you really should open up and show your friends as soon as possible. Also, part 2 is now on Netflix, so that's just a bonus for you. Number 3, The Devil is a Part-Timer. Now, I really, really dig this show because it's so weird and yet it's so grounded at the same time. And I think it's really good for your friends that don't like anime because it's so funny. They will maybe go okay, why is the devil working at McDonald's? And you'll go, don't worry about it, it's just silliness. And I think the character of the devil is so freaking hilarious that you'll just fall in love with him anyway. Even if you want to hate him, you'll love him anyway. He's one of those characters. Basically on this show, the devil comes to Earth, takes on a human form of a teenager, and he's a really good looking guy. He works at a McDonald's, and people just kind of dote over him, and he just can't stand it because he's the devil. There's also a little bit of action here and there, and it's just not too much of anything. It's a good balance. It's a really good in-between anime to get people ready for the more weird stuff that happens later in shows, but this is just a good, grounded place. Again, the hilarity that ensues makes it worth it all around. Number 2, Psycho-Pass. Now, again, this is one that reminds me of a movie. Like, it reminds me of like a Minority Report, or like one of those like dystopian future movies that do really well in theaters. Like, it's just so good. And then the mystery surrounds everything is so great, and the human interactions are really good. And there's just nothing bad about this show. Like, you can't say anything really bad about it. Everything is so freaking awesome. There's no slowdown point. It's just, it pulls you in, it's intense, and it just keeps going, right until the climax. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's so freaking awesome. And anyone that likes anything action, anything sci-fi, anything that like just relates to the human condition, if they like any of that, they will love Psycho-Pass. Number one, and by far I think the most relatable anime, is Death Note, because it really it challenges you when you hear the plot of it, and when you start to understand what's happening, you're like, oh. And again, like Psycho-Pass, is extremely intriguing, and it just sucks you in. Even if you don't really like anime, this is one that sucks you in. This is the one that I showed my girlfriend actually, and she was like, oh my gosh, I want to keep watching that. And I've never watched an anime before in my life. And I was like, yeah, girl, keep watching it. Keep watching it. Soon you'll be just like me. The king of the new world. Like, just seeing Light unravel, like his sanity and like his I don't know, I guess he wants to become the god of the world, but his humanity starts to get stripped from him little by little as the show goes on, and it's just such a hard thing to turn away from. It's like a train wreck, but a beautiful, beautiful train wreck with beautiful flowing hair and shinigami everywhere. And even with the murderous things going on, it's still not really gory or super gross, so you can still have people who don't really dig that kind of thing get into the show, because again, the plot is so good. The rivalry between L and Light is so good. You just can't stop watching it. If you don't like anime, it won't matter, because you just like good things. It's well written, the music is great and engaging, and the show as a whole is perfect, in my opinion. And I think that if you're going to show anyone an anime, this is the one to start from, because people that I know that don't like anime love it. But I'll say it again. I did show one of my ex-girlfriends Death Note, and she just got scared about Ryuk being a clown, and then just wouldn't focus on anything else. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. You just have a problem, whatever. But that's an anomaly. But most people that don't like anime will love Death Note, I promise you. But what anime on Netflix do you guys suggest to show people they just started? And what even, not even on Netflix, what shows do you guys want to introduce your friends to that don't like anime? And what's been your experiences? Let's talk about it down below. Do you have any friends that just don't really like the genre? And why? Why are you friends with them? You just stop doing that immediately. I'm kidding. I have lots of friends who don't like anime, and it's kind of annoying actually, because it's really biased, because they just don't understand it. But I think if they really, really gave it a chance, really opened their minds, and really saw that anime is a great, amazing thing, and an outlet for artistic creativity, and just really let themselves breathe, they see. We love it because we know good things. Thank you guys so much. This has been Anime Debate. I make more of these every single week. Go check them out. I'll put a link right here. It'll pop up or in the description. I'll see you guys next week on another Wednesday for an anime debate. I'll see you guys on Thursday, that's tomorrow, for something weird, and on Monday for Nerd Motivation. Ciao!